Okay, applications of sine law. So I guess we can call this like 2.3 part B. Okay, a chandelier is suspended from the ceiling by two chains. So think of it as a ceiling, and there's going to be two chains, and there's going to be some chandelier on here. Okay, one chain is 46 centimeters long and forms an angle with 60 degrees with the ceiling. The other one is 64 centimeters long. So our question is, what angle does the longer chain, which is this one right here, make with the ceiling? So we're looking at this angle. So let's call this ABC. Doesn't matter which order you put them in. We're looking for angle A. Okay, so for sine law, if we're looking for angle A, let's put sine A over A, and then sine, our matchup that we have is here. It's C. Okay, so let's go sine C over C. So sine A over, and we're going to substitute in 46, and then sine C, which is 60. So sine 60 over, and then 64. Okay, let's cross multiply. We get sine A equals 46 sine 60 over 64. Okay, so bring this up. I get sine A equals, and this part here, 46 sine 60 divided by 64 is going to give us 0.622455759. Okay, now this is clearly not the angle, so let's get rid of the sine. Let's sine inverse both sides. Okay, so I just leave that number on my calculator, and I get A equals, let's round to 38 degrees. Okay, and since this is a word problem, we'll say, therefore, the longer chain makes a 38-degree angle with the ceiling. Okay, two angles of a triangle are 30 and 65. This question, I can see that there's no like ABC type of idea. So let's just call this ABC. Two angles are 30 and 65. And the longest side is 34. Here's the issue. I don't know what the longest side is because I don't know all of the angles. So the longest side is going to be opposite the longest angle. Let's solve for C though, because we're able to solve for C because we have both A and B angles. So we're going to do 180 minus 65 minus 30. Okay, so we get 85 degrees. Okay, now what we're going to be solving for is solve for the shortest side. Okay, sorry, go back. The longest side is 34. So the longest side is going to be opposite 85, which is the biggest angle. This is 34. Now, what we're solving for is the shortest side. How long is the shortest side? The shortest side is going to be opposite the 30. So let's call this A. So since we're solving for a side, we'll use A over sine A equals C over sine C. Okay, so A over, and then we'll have sine 30 equals 34 over sine 85. Okay, just make sure that the 34 and the sine 85 are on top of one another, and then we can cross multiply. So we're going to get A equals 34 sine 30 over sine 85. And if we put this entire thing into our calculators one shot, which we can do that, we're going to go A equals, let's go 17. And that's measured in centimeters. Okay, this is not really a word problem, but we can say therefore the shortest side is 17 centimeters. Okay, last one. Example 3. 2 hotels are located on the same side of the river. Okay, so this is probably one side of the river. This is the other side of the river. The hotels are on the bank of the river and are 400 meters apart. That's where that number comes from. Okay. Across the river is the dock for 2 ferries. So here's a dock, and the ferry, which is a boat, goes in and out of the dock taking tourists to the hotels. The angles made by the riverbank and the lines drawn from the hotels to the dock are shown. Okay, so we have 36, 59, and then we have this side length. How far is each hotel from the dock to the nearest meter? So we want, let's call this A, B, and C. Let's call this A, B, and C. We want to solve for B, which is going to be how far Hotel 1 is away from the dock. And we want to solve for A, which is how far Hotel 2 is from the dock. Okay, here's our issue. We don't yet have a matchup. So let's actually solve for angle D. We can do 180 minus for angle D. So 180 minus 36 minus 59, we get 85 degrees. Now we have a complete pair, a complete ratio in our sine law, and now we can find A and B. So I'm going to color coordinate this. I'm going to do B in blue. Okay, so B is across from 59. I'm going to do B over sine B equals C over sine C. Okay, so B over sine 59 equals 400 over sine 85. And all we have to do is cross multiply this sine 59 up, and we get B equals 400 times sine 59 over sine 85. Okay, and this entire thing we can put into our calculators. And I get 344, and that's going to be measured in meters. Okay, let's do purple for A. So for A, I'm going to do A over sine A equals C over sine C. So we're using this one again. We can sub that right in, 400 over sine 85. If not, just refer back to the diagram and you can sub them in individually again. So we don't know A, but we know that the denominator is going to be sine 36. So A equals 400 times sine 36 over sine 85. And again, we can put this entire thing into our calculators, and we get 236 meters. Okay, so we can write, therefore, Hotel 1 is 344 meters away, and Hotel 2 is, this is 236 meters. So 236 meters away from the dock.